We heard from the Premier that, everybody stay calm, but be prepared. But because this is the worst fire in decades, no doubt people are really working hard to stay on top of the information. Can you tell us what's the latest on the wildfires?
So we've got two major wildfires burning south of Grand Falls, Bishop Falls, and Gander, and those communities, and they're fires of considerable size. Combined, the fires are over almost about 12,000 hectares combined. So Paradise Lake is one that's kind of in the country, and there's cabins in the vicinity, and that's the one that the head of the fire, if it switches around, that will would drive the most towards, say, Grand Falls, and it's causing a lot of smoke management issues for those communities. Now, the Bay Spirit Highway fire, which is just about 5,200 hectares, now that one has kind of cut off the Canagra Peninsula. People haven't been able to get up to Trans-Canada Highway for quite some time now because of smoke and flames on the road, Route 360. So there was some behavior predictions that the two fires would grow in size and potentially join, but yesterday's forecast didn't kind of come true. So we had less than forecasted winds. So initially the forecast was calling for 65-kilometer-hour gusting winds, which would really drive fire behavior, especially after all the drought-like conditions we had. They didn't happen, which was thankful. So the winds were 20 sustained, probably gusting to 45, which still caused smoke management concerns for the communities in question. The fires didn't make the runs that we were predicting, but they still did both grow in size. So yesterday alone, the Paradise Lake fire grew by over 1,000 hectares. And the Bay of Spirit Highway, not so much, only about 100 hectares that one grew. So we're very fortunate. Mother Nature was on our side. On the site, the weather conditions were, the relative humidity was higher than anticipated. The temperatures were a little lower, and the wind speeds were lower, and we had a lower cloud ceiling. So that all worked in our favor. So after the day yesterday, we kind of GPSed the new fire perimeters, ran them through the models, and it looks like, for all intents and purposes, that those two fires, there's going to be growth on those today, but they will not join, which is what the big fear was. So we got some good news there, and looking out into the forecast now, we got potentially two different forecasts. That one's bringing rain, considerable rain to the site, and the other one's not so much. So our tankers are out there. We did our morning assessment now. We flew the sites, and Paradise Lake, we can certainly hit the perimeter of that with water bombers this morning, and that will help contain that fire and knock it down to the ground. And that's some positive news there. So if we can do that, and the Bay of Spirit fire is really still too smoky to water bomb yet, but hopefully the winds will switch around on that in such a manner that we can go and start water bombing that. But everyone in the vicinity is very, very eager to get where they're going, because a lot of these people went out for a come home year just recently. So there's a lot of people that are down in the communities that have flights that they probably missed. There's people that had ferry appointments that they had to miss. And we're working with all the partners, emergency services engaged, and there's emergency plans with central health, transportation infrastructure. So constantly having planning calls with all them. The municipalities are very informed, but right now we're really hoping that we're going to get that rain on the site. That's going to bring potentially 18 mils of rain tomorrow night. That will be really helpful.
Oh, Jeff, it sounds like the crews on the ground are doing everything they can in a situation like this. No doubt, every little bit of good news helps.
Well, in actual fact, we can't actually get the crews on the ground there just yet. We've had them on the ground in the past, but because of the fire behavior on those sites, it wasn't safe to put them there. So we've got more wildfires in the landscape, so we've got their ground crews at another one just trying to clean that one up and kind of put that one to bed. But we've been the strategy's been tackling for Paradise Lake and Bay of Spirit Highway. We've been tackling that with the air resources. We've got water bombers, we got air resources, we got 4 water bombers and 2 bird dogs in from Quebec to help bolster our fleet here in Newfoundland. So we got a total of 8 water bombers and 2 bird dogs to really tackle those fires. We've got a team from Parks Canada in. They're writing burn plans right now, so in case we want to use prescribed burning treatments to control the fire. We've got a dozer line there that's really being constructed. That's going to be, when it's said and done, it's going to be about 90 meters long. So that's stuff that we're doing preventative just in case something bad happens. So we got a lot of different strategies and tactics that we're deploying on the site.
Well, Jeff, we appreciate the update this morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.